Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nation here and I'm excited. I did not look excited when I just said that. But I'm excited to be back with another video for you guys. So as promised, we are talking all about month 5, pregnancy symptoms, doctor's appointments, things that have been going on with me during my 5th month of pregnancy. Alright, so the last pregnancy update, I think the last week that I talked about was week 17. Excuse me. And if I have the weeks wrong, I'm sorry. I still was a little bit confused. I didn't even realize that you were pregnant for really 10 months instead of 9 months. If you make it to 40 weeks, that's actually 10 months of pregnancy. So the weeks have been kind of confusing, but we're going to start off at week 18, and then I think I'm going to finish off at week 23. It may not all be in month 5, but that's what we're going to include in my video today. So starting off with week 18, if you watched my previous video, then you know that I started to feel my baby moving at 17 weeks, 1 day pregnant. So week 18, I still continue to feel her moving. I would say the only difference was that it was just a little bit more frequently throughout the day. And it was kind of in different positions as well. So during week 17, when I would feel her kicks, it would be mostly like during the morning or like late at night, when I was laying flat on my back. That's when I would feel her little kicks. And then week 18, it started to be like when I was sitting down in a chair or like sitting on the toilet, I would feel like little tiny kicks as well. So it was a little bit more frequently throughout the day, which was amazing. And I kept having to tell myself, because really you're not supposed to be like counting like their kicks or movements until I think you're like 28 weeks or something like that. But I just was so excited. I was like, I want to feel her moving all the time. But I had to keep telling myself, like, no, don't worry about that. You know, just be grateful every time that you do feel her kick. It'll become more noticeable, and, you know, be patient. Like, you're going to feel it more and just take it all in. So, yeah, that was when it comes to movement. Week 18, I wrote down that I was experiencing constipation and indigestion. And honestly, I feel like this had to deal with my diet, which I didn't really talk about in the last video either. My diet has been, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not a super healthy eater. I've never been a super healthy eater. And my favorite things to eat right now are French fries. I enjoy Chick-fil-A French fries a little bit too much. I could eat them every day with some Chick-fil-A sauce and I would be completely satisfied. And I also like fried chicken, so Popeyes has been wonderful. And pizza, I love pizza with extra cheese, not plain, extra cheese. So it's not really like sugar that is my problem, but it's more so the fried foods and the starchy foods and carbs and stuff. So I was eating a lot of that, and I think that's what contributed to my constipation and my indigestion. Now, it wasn't so bad to the point where I felt like I needed to take anything for like laxative or Tums or anything like that. It didn't really last that long either. I swear it just has to do with what I'm eating. So lately I've been watching that, especially since my glucose test is coming up. I have like a little under 2 weeks. So I've been cracking down, cutting out all of that stuff. Not all of it. It's good to have good, healthy carbs, but I'm really watching what I eat. at least until I pass. And then I'm probably going to introduce it a little bit back into my diet, but not as much as I was before. So yeah, those two things, but I didn't write it down for the rest of the weeks because really, like I said, it comes when I eat certain things. And then I wrote that I had been experiencing better sleep. So the pregnancy pillow, like, it was getting to a point where, like, I couldn't really get comfortable. I don't know what it was, but I guess week 18, like, it was just hitting. Like, it was just good. And it still is good. It's a lot better than, like I was telling you in the last video, the first trimester. I was not getting no sleep. None. So I am getting sleep, and actually it seems like I have been sleeping harder. I used to be a very light sleeper, but my husband told me that I get in like to a deep sleep now, where he can like move my hand, he can dig up my nose, he can take pictures, he can do all that stuff. And I just don't know. Once I'm out, I'm out. So I think I just be in deeper sleep when I do go to sleep. So it just seems better. I'm still getting up at least, I would say at least 3-4 times to pee. Especially if I drink something after 8 o'clock, then it's like a no-brainer. I'm definitely getting up to pee. I'm trying to drink at least 80 ounces of water a day, which is a whole lot in my opinion. So I pee literally all day long. All day long. It's ridiculous how much I pee. So yeah, and then something that has been constant probably throughout the entire pregnancy is gas. I think it's because of the hormone progesterone is what it's called. That causes you to have more gas, and yeah, it just is what it is. More specifically, after a few hours of sleep, so every time that I wake up and go to the bathroom to pee, it is like my stomach just feels so full with gas. And as soon as I sit down on the toilet, it like is a bunch of gas that has to be released before I pee. And it's every time, literally every time that I go to pee, overnight anyway. And then during the day, it's just, you know, your occasional burps that just come out randomly, or your farts. And they just be coming when they feel like coming. So yeah, gas, it has been constant throughout probably the entire pregnancy, and I've listed it for every single week in month 5. So yeah, I'm not going to repeat that one. That's been like a constant one. All right, moving on to week 19. That's when I started, excuse me, here's the gas again. That's when I started to feel movement while standing. So before it was just like in a seated position, week 18. Now week 19, it is in a standing position. I would be at work just randomly doing something, and I would feel her kick, and I was like, oh, I don't have to be sitting down anymore. Like, I can actually feel her when I'm walking and up on my feet. So that was really cool. And then I noted that I was eating less frequently that week, but when I did eat, I was eating more at a time. So yeah, I think mainly it had to do with just being busy at work. Unfortunately, the way things are right now, I'm not able to take as many breaks for snacks as I would like to. So naturally, I'm just eating a little bit less throughout the day. But when I eat, I notice that I'm eating every single drop of my food, which is not common or not usual. So for example, pre-pregnancy, I was getting kids meals from Chick-fil-A. like 2 chicken strips and the small fry and the kids drink, and I was satisfied. I was good. Now, no. We getting the 3 count strips. We getting a chicken sandwich. We're upgrading the fries to a large because they're Chick-fil-A fries. But we drinking water still. But we're eating every single ounce of food. Like, nothing is left. And so, like, when I first did that, I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Like, I'm crushing my food. Which reminds me, going a little bit back to my diet and stuff, talking about weight gain real quick. So, pre-pregnancy, I weighed 141 pounds, which is the heaviest I've ever been in my life to begin with. And so, the healthy range of weight gain for me, according to the doctor, is 25 to 35 pounds, which seems like a lot, to be honest. But so far, I've put on, let's see, I was 141. Now I'm about 157, 158. So almost 20 pounds that I've put on already. So it's not too bad. I think I'm still in like a healthy range, and I won't probably gain too much if I continue to watch what I'm eating. But yeah, I'm like 158 pounds now, which is insane to me. Like, what? Butt naked. I weigh 158 pounds. No shade to anybody. I'm just saying, me personally, I never thought I would see the day. Like, my body is different. My breasts are larger. My thighs are thick. My thighs actually rub together when I walk, which is something that I never used to have happen. And I'm not complaining. Like, I'm actually enjoying it. My husband is enjoying it. I like my new curves. So yeah, that is how much I've gained so far, and I'm supposed to gain no more than 35 pounds. So yeah, just trying to watch what I'm eating little by little. And I've started doing prenatal yoga to kind of stay active, as well as loosen things up and stretch so that labor, I don't even like calling it labor, we're not going to call it that, but delivery is smoother. All right, I'm getting carried away. Week 20. This is something that started week 20 and has continued on to now. So I'll be talking about this in my next video, talking about month 6. But that is painful nipples. More specifically when I'm cold or in a cold environment. So I've noticed that if I'm cold, my nipples don't just get hard, they actually hurt. It is like a pain where it just makes me want to press up against them and hold them to warm them up, because it is like a sore, achy, I don't know. It does not feel that good. And it's only when it's really cold I've noticed that it's happening. And it just, started week 20 and I am in week 25 right now, and it is still happening. And also, starting week 20, I started to notice that I was becoming more emotional. More specifically, just crying more. And for me, that is not common. I keep saying common. That's not usual. That's not normal for me to cry over things. I just am not that person. But pregnancy has made me that person. If I get annoyed, if I feel overwhelmed, if you don't agree with me. Like, if I'm any bit of frustrated, I cry. I just cry. I'm overwhelmed with emotion and I cry. So that is how I like know, like, yes, you're pregnant, because that is not something that I used to do at all. And I'm not ashamed of it or anything. It's just something new that I've been experiencing. So shout out to my husband, because whenever I do cry, he's like super supportive. He'll like lay next to me, rub my back, hear me out, reassure me. He's awesome. So yeah, week 20. Oh, week 21. I just did week 20. All right, so this is about to be TMI. So beware. Week 21 is when I had my first poop that personally offended me. I don't know what it is, if it has to deal with the hormones or if it's just my diet once again. But week 20 is when I had my first poop that after I pooped, I was like, yo, that is not okay. That is really offensive to myself. That's one of those poops where like as soon as you let it go, you flush the toilet right after. Even if you're at home, like you don't sit and smell that. And unfortunately, it keeps happening. It keeps happening. It's like this new stench that I'm not gonna elaborate anymore. That started week 21 and that has continued on. I also wrote down the nipple soreness again. I'm not going to mention the nipple soreness or the gas again. Like I said, for the first time, the nipple soreness has continued and the gas. So that was it for the new symptoms of week 21. But something very exciting that happened was I had my anatomy scan, and I was really looking forward to that because that's not like a quick 5-minute ultrasound. That's like at least a half hour where they literally look at every single part of the baby to make sure everything looks good. So yeah, I was praying, stayed prayed up, and everything looked great. Like the baby was healthy, no complaints, except during that appointment, they were not able to see everything that they needed to see of her face. And my baby was not budging. Like, she does not like the ultrasounds. She was turning away. She had her hands like up over her face, covering her face. She was just like, no, leave me alone. So yeah, after a long time of trying, they were like, all right, we're going to have to reschedule you and have you come back for a follow-up anatomy scan. So I was like, well, that's fine. That's like another opportunity for me to get to see her. So yeah, that was week 21. And then week 22, all the symptoms are the same as week 21. Emotional, gassy, the nipple stuff. I wrote sleepy. I was like really sleepy that week. Probably had to deal with work. So yeah. But moving on from symptoms for week 22, because I was pretty much the same thing as 21. I transitioned from seeing the OBGYN that I was going to. I transitioned over to a birthing center. So all along, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I made up my mind that I was not going to be delivering at a hospital if I could help it. I wanted to be either at a birthing center with a midwife and a doula, or at home with a midwife and a doula. So I transferred over to a birthing center, had my first appointment with them. Basically, they just went over all of my health history, and they gave me some homework actually that I'm to complete before my next appointment next Friday. Yeah, so it was very, very nice. They were really, you can tell, like, they really are one-on-one and hands-on, and make sure that you are having the experience that you want. And so that's really all I could ask for. That's all I wanted. I don't have a specific midwife yet. I'm going to be meeting with pretty much all of them before I give birth. That way I'm just comfortable with whoever is available when it's time. But yeah, so that was really, really nice. Had my first appointment, and I will be going back there from now on. So that's where I'll be having my gestational diabetes test next week. They also were the ones who referred me to have my follow-up scan, because initially my follow-up anatomy scan was at the OBGYN, but since I transferred over, the birthing center midwife, she gave me, a referral to go somewhere else the following week to have the update. So moving on, week 23. The only new symptom for that week was when it came to feeling baby move. So it was no longer just punches and jabs and kicks. It was rolling and moving around and adjusting. So it was like an arm sweep, or I don't know which part of the body it was, but instead of just like a punch jab, it was like a brush across. It was like a roll or a tumble. So that felt really cool, and it looks really cool too, because you can really see like your belly kind of just like moving, and I'm still fascinated by it. And yeah, so that was the first week I started to experience that. I'll try to insert a video clip so y'all can see kind of what I'm talking about. But baby girl be moving, like she be letting her mom know she's there. I be asking God too. Sometimes like it'll be like a little bit of time since I felt her, and I know I still had to be patient because I'm still, in the early movement. But sometimes I'll be like, Lord, wake her up, like let her move. Let me feel her real quick so I know she good. So, and she'll move a little bit, and I'll be like, thank you. So he be taking care of me, y'all. He be taking care of me. That was it for the new symptom of week 23. And then also that is the week that I had my follow-up anatomy scan. I went to a different place, and basically that one was real quick. That was like a 10-15 minute appointment, because all she was doing was looking at the baby's face. But yeah, around that time, and so everything was good. Baby looked normal. She got what she needed, but just barely. I mean, I'll post a picture. Like it was cool because they had like a 3, or it might have been 40, a 40 imaging there too. So she switched it over to that, and we have a cute 40 picture. But you'll see, like, she was curled up in a ball. She did not let us see her face. at all. But the text says she got what she needed to confirm that everything looked normal as far as her anatomy goes for her face.
Yawning.
Yeah, I see. That was cute.
Oh, that's so cute. She let us know the baby's weight, and during that time the baby is supposed to measure like 1 pound and a couple ounces or so, I think, by that time. And baby girl was measuring 1 pound 8 ounces, so she was only measuring 3 days ahead, but she was still ahead, to say the least. So I feel like she's gonna be tall, because I'm not like tall, but I'm not short. I'm like 5'6 3/4, 5'7" on a good day, and my husband is 6'3", so I think that's why she's kind of measuring ahead, because she's going to be long and tall, and even her legs and her feet like look long. So yeah, that has been month 5-ish, if I got the weeks right. But weeks 18 through 23, pregnancy update. I am currently 25 weeks and 2 days pregnant. And so yeah, I'm going to show you my bump, what it looks like now. Technically I'm in month 6, but I gotta do a belly shot. Like, I can't do a pregnancy update without a belly shot. So yeah, I'm gonna show you my belly real quick. All right, so I moved rooms, but I just wanted to show you guys real quick what the bump is looking like. So this is my 25-week baby bump. This is me from the side with my shirt on. So we are progressing, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the shirt off now. This is the bump from the side and the front. I have officially taken out my belly ring during the day. I do have a pregnancy one that I wear to sleep overnight, that way my hole won't close. But my line is getting darker, and you can see I'm starting to get a line up top as well, so that is coming in. Other side. And yeah, I'm really loving everything about like having a pregnant belly. I just think they're so adorable. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this month 5 pregnancy update. I will be back next month to do my month 6 update, and I'm in my nursery right now for the baby. Once that's done, I will be doing a finished nursery tour, so stay tuned for that. And I know I have some other videos non-pregnancy related that I need to get out. I know. We gonna work on those. Y'all pray for me, okay? I love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.